Everybody ready? Sound ready? Camera ready? Roll it. And 3, 2, 1. Let's start the show.
There he is. All right, man. Let's formally start this podcast. So I'm going to say what it is. Hey, guys, I want to introduce everybody to my friend here, Ricky Rivera with Norwalk Brew House. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you? I'm my apologies. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, it's all right. Let me see if I can bump it up on my end. There you go.
I'm coming to you live from my kid's room.
You're looking good, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man. My apologies. I was eating dinner and then I looked up at the clock and I was like, "Oh shit, it's already 6." And then I was trying to get on here and I don't know. I think my internet connection was having trouble.
Oh, don't worry about it. You know what? That's the way it goes. I was trying to transfer some files to, and I was like, "Oh man, it's almost time." And then I said, "Screw it! I'm just gonna jump on here." You know, it's a new thing. We're learning. You know how to do this. You know, we're all new at this. So I'm trying out this podcast format. You know, for all of you who know, I'm doing a lot of the taco reviews. I'm going out doing the workouts. Recently got into doing comedy. Now we're doing the podcast. I'm just really trying to help as many people as possible. And I do that by my workouts, by motivating people that need inspiration to lose weight to do that. Motivating people, in the taco community, to promote small business. The comedy, I just want to make people happy. I just want to make people laugh. And the podcast, it's something that I've always kind of wanted to do. And it gives me another outlet to bring a different form of entertainment and awareness to whatever topic might need attention to.
Hey, man, that's really cool. You're like super busy. So just real quick for people watching, I kind of want to give, I want to tell people how you and I know each other. So you and I go way back. This before you had your YouTube channel, before you got into comedy, before you launched Tacos and Workouts. We go back to what, like early 2000, maybe 2001 or something, 2002. You were a photographer for East LA Sabor Factory and Inner City Soul, which is 2 bands that I used to be in. And so for anybody watching, that's how we know each other. That's how JR and I know each other. So it's not this random connection. You didn't just hit me up out of the blue to do this. So thank you so much, man. It's crazy to think that we've known each other for so long.
Yeah, it's like 20 years, right?
Yeah. That's
20 years.
So fast, right?
Yeah, definitely. I remember I went to, I was like always carrying my camera. I was like looking for, subject matter. And I had this, I was part of a collective of photographers in East LA. And we had a project that we wanted to do, like a music project, and show like local bands. And I went to this event in Griffith Park. I forget the name of the event, but I was reading the name of the bands. And then I saw the name that stood out like from all the names, and it said East LA Sabor, and I was like, "What's this gonna be about?" And then I heard like this awesome music, and like my body started like shaking and started dancing. I was like, I couldn't stop. I was like, "Well, what am I listening to?" And it was like East LA Sabor, and it was like meant to be. So I ran up to them right after they got off their set, and I pretty much told Rick, "Hey, you know what? I'm taking pictures. I want to keep on taking pictures," and that's how it all began. So that's cool.
That's cool. I remember one time we did a photo shoot out in Pasadena, like the streets in Pasadena, and one of the photos you took of us that day made it on the cover of a magazine. This magazine from San Diego called No Cover Magazine. We were on the cover of No Cover, and that was your photography.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for that, man. We had fun. We hung out quite a few times, and we were like running around, and it was fun because we were all in our 20s, So
yeah,
it was awesome, man.
Yeah, we're still keeping busy, still doing projects and being creative.
Yeah, doing many things. I mean, you too. You're super busy too. I mean, like I would see you on social media, and I'll be like, you would pop up here and there. I'm like, what's he up to? And I seen you in a number of like interviews, and I think a couple of podcasts as well. I think at one time you were at Amoeba Music, and then now the last that I've heard, you're embarking on this great business to it's called Norwalk Brew House, correct?
That's right. Yeah. So,
tell us all about it.
yeah. So just to recap the last 20 years or so, when we met again, I was playing in the band, and I did East LA Sabor Factory for several years, and that kind of transitioned into Inner City Soul. Did that for a few years. And then I went solo, did my own project. In 2007, I released an album under my name, Ray Ricky Rivera, called Neighborhood Fame. And at that time, I had launched my own record label. So I was doing that, working with other independent bands from Boyle Heights and East LA, put out a few records through that. And I was working at the record store in Hollywood, working in retail. I was actually working in music retail for 8 years. So I was both like pursuing music, putting out music, touring and things like that, and working at the music store.
Wow.
Then in 2014, I started homebrewing, just kind of was curious about making my own beer. I had started drinking craft beer for a little bit, and I started having these ideas of wanting to open my own venue here in Norwalk. I moved from Boyle Heights to Norwalk with my wife and kids, and we've been here for over 10 years now. And I was working with some local bands, and I realized that there was no local venues to book the bands that I was managing. So I started thinking, hey, maybe there's a need for a venue to have live entertainment. And that kind of morphed into like, yeah, it'd be cool to have like a bar that serves California craft beer. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Then that led me to thinking like, I should probably know the ins and outs of beer if I'm serious about going into a bar business. And I started homebrewing, and in 2015, I met some other Latino homebrewers from East LA and the LA area. And we started the SoCal Cerveceros Homebrew Club, which today is the largest Latino / people of color homebrew club in the country. I think we're over 250 members now. But we've been going strong for 6 years, and through the homebrew club, I just started to meet so many people within the homebrew community, within the craft beer industry, and I started to learn that there's not a lot of Latinos own businesses in the beer industry in general. So there's a big gap there, and Latinos love beer. We purchase a lot of beer, we consume a lot of beer, but we're not making a lot of money off of beer. So I have a large group of friends who all of us kind of are going from homebrew, like hobby homebrewer, to professional commercial brewery owners. And so I have 3-4 friends have actually opened up their own breweries. And so I kind of been taking notes, asking questions, and just watching what they've been doing. And I've been inspired and just kind of decided to go my own route, go try my chance at going into business for myself. So I started Norwalk Brew House. It's not actually a physical space yet. It's not a brewery yet. What I'm doing is called contract brewing. So I've got my brand, I've got my recipes, got my beer names. I'm going to partner with other breweries. They're going to brew my recipe. We're going to package it, and then I'm going to turn around and distribute my beer directly to retailers. So, bars, restaurants, and stores and things like that. But the long-term plan is to one day have a physical space in the city of Norwalk, because Norwalk really needs something like that. So that's it in a nutshell, I guess.
And there's so much that goes into it, and we kind of know a lot of the same people, like on social media. Like I'll say, this person follows Norwalk Brew House. This person is friends with Ray. So I was like, it's crazy because it's there's a lot of people in Boyle Heights. There's a lot of people in East LA that know you, that I know, and it's kind of like we all kind of know each other. Like I know that sometimes like, oh, Ray, and it's crazy, but it's cool that we're all out there now, and we're all trying to get to the next level and learn from one another and really help each other out. I think that you'll eventually get there. I noticed that you like to work hard, and you get things done. So we're definitely here to support you in any way possible. I think you had you were trying to raise some funds to do something.
First of all, yeah, thank you so much. I think it's really important that for us who are trying to do something, whether it be in business or the arts or what have you. Like, I think it's important that we all support. And yeah, we do have a bunch of people at Boyle Heights, East LA connection. And, through all those years doing music, from performing to putting on shows, working with bands, like many of my friends and contacts are from the East LA area. So people, we've just stayed in contact over the years, and people have followed the various projects that I've done. And so now, so many people have just stuck around, and now they're following this beer journey that I'm on. So I'm grateful that there's still a group of people that are interested to see what I'm doing next. So that's really cool, and I thank everybody who continues to support and follow me. But yeah, man, starting a beer company it's not so much hard, like it's not like physical labor, like hard work. It's very time consuming. It's tedious work. There's a lot of things that I don't know that I have to learn for the first time. So there's a huge learning curve, but it's really expensive as well. And so last year, I had a little side hustle where I would DJ private parties, weddings, and things like that. And last year with the pandemic, any weddings or private parties that I had booked were completely gone.
Yeah.
So I took it as a opportunity to sell all my DJ equipment, and I used whatever little money that I made to put into the startup funds for this beer company. But it's not enough. I'm really close. We're almost fully licensed to distribute and sell beer, but I need a few more $1,000. So
and we're gonna try to get them there.
So I decided to launch a Indiegogo campaign, and I'm going to start taking donations publicly on Monday, this coming Monday. And I say publicly because the campaign is ready. It's all ready to go, and I'm just going to invite the public to start helping, contributing Monday, the start of next week. There's some really cool perks. You could back the campaign and you could get a case of beer. There's a perk where you could come to a brewery and brew a beer with me. You could have a beer made, and we could donate the proceeds to a nonprofit of your choice. We've got hats and shirts and custom glassware. So there's some really cool perks on there, and I invite everybody to check it out. Again, it's going to go live Monday. So follow me here on Instagram if you're not already following me, Norwalk Brew House. Or you can visit the website, norwalkbrewhouse.com, sign up for our newsletter, and I'll send out newsletters to remind people about the Indiegogo campaign. And yeah, my goal is to raise $15,000. And that money is going to go to cover a cold box, which will be able to store our beer cold, because that's the proper way to store beer. And what else do we need? That's going to help cover the first run of production, so that very first batch of beer. And our first beer is called Beady Beady Blonde Blonde. And,
there you go.
And it's a beer that I've been pouring at beer festivals for the last three or 4 years. And when people come to try that beer, they're really excited about the name. That beer always sells out first. Well, not sell out, but we always kick the keg first. It finishes first at all the beer festivals we've poured at. So I thought it was a good name, solid beer to start off this beer business with. And so here we go.
Yeah, man, when I heard the name, I was like, it got me. I was like, I don't drink beer anymore because I drank so much beer in my youth. I figured, you know what, I'm going to give somebody else a chance to drink some beer. I got to stop drinking it all. But I still like beer. I mean, like every once in a while, I'm like, I kind of want one, but I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I still like beer. I wouldn't mind tasting your beer for sure, and the name alone just got me in, and I'm sure it's going to be a good product. So who knows? I'll probably, meet with you and try it out. Just give it a small little taste.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So this beer is a blonde ale. So it's not like super hoppy. It's not like super bitter. It's not a strong beer. It's about 5%. And it's a light, crisp beer. So really the plan for this was have a beer that people who drink like Corona, like light beers, can reach for this beer, can drink it and like this beer. Like, it's not. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, this is not for like the serious hardcore craft beer person who stands in line for 5 hours waiting for that like rare beer to drop. This is for, like, drinking on Sundays at the barbecue, hanging out at wherever you hang out. So it's a light, crisp beer. You could have a couple.
It's kind of like for me.
It's for you. It's definitely for you if you like me. Yeah. It's a post tacos and workout beer.
Hey, I like that. I used to do that too. I used to like go run 3 miles and then I would like crack open a 12-pack and people are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I gotta rehydrate."
I got the carbs back on.
People are like, "You're always doing things wrong," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I enjoy it." But no, I was gonna ask you too to compare your beer, and I'm kind of glad you kind of brought it up. I never really got into craft beers because, like, for the same reason, it's like, first of all, I never knew what I was gonna get, and then sometimes you drink like 3 or 4 of them, and then you're like already like drunk or whatever, right? And to me, I used to enjoy drinking beer, so I would drink about 8 to 12 beers. I'm like, so if it's per drinking, so. It was like, so if your beer is similar to like a Corona kind of thing, then that's definitely a beer that I would like to drink.
I mean, I would say that it's similar in that it's a light beer. It's not something heavy. At 5%, you could have about 2 or 3 beers and still be able to walk straight. Definitely don't drive, but it's not like a high alcohol beer, so it's not going to like floor you. But speaking of Corona and Modelo, those are lagers, so those are really light beers. This is a blonde ale, so it's the difference is in the way that they ferment. It's 2 different kinds of yeast: lager yeast versus ale yeast. But this particular blonde ale is a light beer, and really that's the point of it is not to have something that you can't have more than 2 of, and you can have a few and be okay. And yeah, so I'm just really aiming at the beer drinker who, like, again, might already be drinking Corona, might be into Shock Top or a Blue Moon, those kinds of beers, but not like the serious hardcore craft beer drinker. And really the way this idea came about is, one year we were celebrating my grandmother's birthday, and I was DJing for everybody. So it was like my tios and tias and my cousins. And prior to that, anytime I would share a beer, they wouldn't really be into it because I was coming with like different like ambers and just.
And these are beers that you would create, or
yeah, homebrew beers, and so people weren't really into it. At least my like family, right? So I was like, you know what? This time around, I want to brew something that everybody can drink. Yeah. So I want to do something that's light. I want to do something that's easy drinking. And so I brewed this blonde ale, and I brewed it on the light side. It was really like crisp. I took it, and everybody enjoyed it. And we finished a 5-gallon keg, and I was like, hey, that was really cool, because my family, they're not really into craft beer. Again, they drink Corona, Modelo, Bud Light, things like that. Not really like that craft beer connoisseur. So I started brewing this beer for parties, and when I started taking it to parties, your average beer drinker was drinking it. So I thought, hey, maybe I'm onto something here. Let me explore this a little bit, and I started to tweak the recipe. Then that's when I started to share it at beer festivals that I was pouring my homebrew at, and people enjoyed it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it when I see what happens. And so here we go. See what happens.
Yeah, man, I see you, and I'm all like, man, this is awesome. What's the name of that company that from San Diego, Ballast Point? They started off very small, and then they got bought up by Budweiser, right? Or one of the big companies.
Yeah, they got bought out by Constellation Brands for like $1 billion.
Oh, that's actually Corona, right?
Yeah,
Constellation Brand.
I think I think it's the same company.
Yeah. I was doing some research. I'm like, who owns Corona? And then it's Constellation Brand. Yeah.
Yeah, these are big time conglomerate brands, like multi-billion-dollar companies. A lot of money, power.
I definitely don't drink anymore, but that doesn't mean I'm not willing to invest in beer, because I know that a lot of people love beer, and I know how much I love beer, and I'm pretty sure that that's not going to change anytime soon. So, I mean, I'm always looking for opportunities in investing. So it's why not invest in our brother here that, is trying to do, a business and, bring a different flavor to what's already the norm. So, I invite everybody to support Rick as much as possible. Like, he's a real cool guy. I've known him for over 20 years. We had some beers together and hang out together. And now that he's doing his brew house, I definitely want to be around more and be a part of it and support him all the way. I want him to get to big places. But guys, look, the thing about what we do, I'm more in the entertainment kind of YouTube realm, and what Rick does is more of the brew. We need people, and if you guys like us, we need your support. So sometimes, if you can't support us monetarily, just by telling people, hey, I know this guy, he's my friend, follow him, and you share that information, that's much more than enough. Because if you don't have the funds to help them out, one of your friends might, or one of their friends might, and that's a way how we could still support each other without, financially supporting each other. Whatever you got to do. Look, man, I grew up in East LA. Rick also grew up in the hood in East LA. Well, what the northern part of East LA, right? By City Terry, Sereno.
Boyle Heights, Hazard Projects. That's where
there
I'm
you
from.
go. I'm not going to say what projects I'm from.
That's where I grew up. I'm not from there. I'm definitely not a gangster, but that's where I grew up from. Graduated from Wilson High School, and just a local cat from the neighborhood, Boyle Heights, and man, just like you, my growing up, like, nobody that I knew owned any kind of business. I don't know any investors. There was nobody that could sit me down and say, hey, if you have dreams of owning your own business, this is how you do it. This is how you raise money. This is who you need to talk to. Like, whatever I've done, whether it be like booking my own tours, producing my own albums, distributing my own records, starting my own label, starting my own management company, all those things, like the way that I learned how to do it was to actually do it. Like, I didn't have anybody to show me how to do it. And it was literally, like, for me, 20 years of learning, learning how to call somebody, learning how to ask somebody that, hey, you owe me money, or hey, this is how much I charge, or learning how to charge people, things like that. Like, those are things that, like, I didn't grow up knowing, or nobody taught me. And I think that's the case for a lot of us who come from the same neighborhood, or who come from neighborhoods like ours. So to your point, it's super important that we support each other, whether it be, checking out my campaign on Monday, and being able to throw in a few bucks, or like following me on Instagram, or following you on Instagram, or subscribing to your YouTube channel, or telling a friend, hey, check out Toggles and Workouts, that little hater video is funny, or, so showing that kind of support is huge, and that's probably like a really big lesson that I learned coming from music, because when we were in East LA Sabor Factory, when we first started, we were playing in like backyards, and like nobody was like caring, nobody paid attention. And then we kind of like moved up to like playing in clubs, and then we were like the opening band, and we'd play for like the bartender and the waitresses and the sound guy. Nobody was there, but then as like word started to spread and people started to tell their friends, yeah, I saw this band, these kids, they sounded cool. And then little by little, word of mouth got around. We started packing shows, we started to get paid, we started to headline shows, we started to tour the country, And so that kind of support, just telling people about these projects, is huge. Again, even if you don't have money to contribute, like, telling somebody about what we're doing, it can be impactful. So yeah, man, that's big.
Yeah, so I mean, that's why we have him on, because we want as many people to know about what he's doing, and share this video. You know what? We're gonna try to put it on Instagram, on YouTube. And eventually, we want to have many people come to the Tacos and Workouts YouTube channel. And you know what, Rick? Thank you for being here. Whenever you have anything new and exciting, make sure to let us know. We're here to support you all along your way, and we can't wait to try out them beers.
Oh man, yeah, you know what? Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for anybody who's willing to put me on their Instagram live, who's willing to take the time to talk to me. Everybody's busy, like I'm busy. I'm at home with my wife and our kids, and I know you're busy editing videos. That's pretty tedious work, takes forever, I'm sure. So anybody willing to take the time to listen on Instagram, to watch and follow, and to have me on, I'm super grateful for it. So thank you. I shout out to Made You Look Pins, who's following right now. They made some pins for me, and they make amazing pins. So if you need any pins, custom pins, Made You Look Pins. Another Latino from Downey who has a small business. Support Latinos in small business. We need the help. So yeah, Tacos and Workouts. Get you some pins.
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. You mean pins, like pins you put on your clothing?
Pins. Yeah, yes? Yeah, pins.
I'm definitely in the market for something like
pins
that.
You put on. yeah, right there. Right, you can see it right now. Made You Look Pins. Check them out. Latino owned small business. Does great work.
Hey, and if they want to, give us if they want to come out, and if they have like a business and they want to, talk about it, we invite them onto the show. Why not? Like I said, I'm here about promoting small business, people that are out there and working hard and trying to make it happen. You know what? If I could help anybody get one step closer to where they need to be, I'm going to do it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So it was fun talking to Rick. I'm sure we'll have him on the show again. And until now, we'll talk to you later.
Peace. Thank you, guys.